All right, want to check lights?
Sure. Good. Good. Good.
All right, that's good. We're ready to go. All right, we're all hooked up.
I'm going straight. I'll meet you up at the entrance.
We're all hooked up. Tanks are dumped. We're ready to roll. We're pulling out of Hawthorne here at, what time is it? I don't know, 8:57. That's pretty common for us, 9 o'clock to roll. We only have like 130 miles to go today, so we might have hung around a little later, but we're headed to a state park that is first come, first serve. And there's only so many electrical and water sites there. None of them have any septic. And I guess the dump station is closed because of the high water table with all the water that's been around the area. So I don't know, I have to play this by ear. So we're leaving Hawthorne, Nevada at 9 o'clock. We're going to head just outside of Carson City, Nevada. We're going to a place called Washoe Lake State Park. There are 2 loops, A and B loop. I guess there's 3 because there's a spot for horses. And the A loop has water and power. Last time we stayed there a couple times. And the last couple times we stayed there, it didn't have any utilities. So this will be a first for us. Have water and power. Alright, here we go, leaving the park. We want to stay 5 days. We're killing time to get to Oregon. And we have, what, 5, 6, 7 days to kill. So we're going to try and hang out in Washoe Lake State Park for 5 nights. Then we'll pick one boondocking spot between there and Southern Oregon. So tag along with us for a while. Alright, so this is Highway 95. We're still right in front of the RV park. We're headed out of, we're kind of going northwest out of Hawthorne. We have 32 miles to go on 95. And I think we're going to turn on 95, alternate 95. And I'm not sure how far we have to go to that, but I think we have, we're scheduled to get there like 11:30 in the afternoon. We'll kind of slow down a little bit, maybe hopefully roll in around noon. So we're, I don't know how many miles outside of Hawthorne right now, but if you saw our Whiskey Flats Campground review, you would have seen this road in that video heading us out to Walker Lake, to that campground area. But it's so pretty through here, I thought I'd just turn it back on so you can see the lake and the mountains and some of 95 as we drive through here. Just such a pretty area. We're going to cruise through the town of Walker Lake, which again, if you saw the video headed out to the campground in our Whiskey Flats Campground review, you would have seen us go through this town. Now, it's been a few years since we've come through here, and even though it may not look like much now, it certainly has been cleaned up. So I don't know if there's a new mayor in town or what happened, but the town of Walker Lake sure looks a lot nicer than it did 3 or 4 years ago last time we came through here. I'm sure when the water was up to where it was many years ago, it was probably a booming little town. Probably a lot of tourists came through. The boat ramp is probably getting used a lot, but now the boat ramp doesn't even come near the water. So this town no doubt suffered from the drought, just like so many towns around the country dry up because of mining or or timber work or whatever. This one dried up because the lake got so low. All right, there you go. We're getting spit out the other side of the town of Walker Lake. Hey, so once again, I'll ask, what do you think about these videos? This is like the third one in the series so far that we've done on Travelday, showing the route we've taken, some of the roads, some of the beauty as we drive through the area. What do you think of it? Is this type of video you like to watch? Or am I wasting my time doing it? Is it a waste of your time trying to watch it? Let me know. I mean, I don't have to do these. I just do it thinking it was something kind of cool and something to share with people that watch our channel. But you let me know. Should I keep doing these or should I stop? I'm open to pure honesty here. Just let me know. So you see the sign, Walker Lake Recreational Area. So up here to the right, I don't know if you can see that road going down to the water and whatnot, the parking lot area off to the right. That's where we went and showed you the little dry camping spot and the small campground down by Walker Lake. The entrance will be coming up here on the right hand side. There you see the sign, Sportsman's Beach, 1/4 mile. So it's right there to the right hand side. There's the turn in right there. All right, this will all be new territory for you. We'll turn it back on in a minute. So we've had a few people ask a couple questions. One is, what do we do for GPS? And it just came to mind right now that we use a Garmin. It's the RV or trucker version of the Garmin. I don't remember the model number, but I will look at it when we get to our next destination, and we'll put a note right here on the screen so you know what Garmin we're using. I rely on that pretty much. We've been using it for, I don't know, a few years now. I also do a map on my phone, and I run that through the Android app, put it on the screen. Now, of course, the phone is really more of a car GPS, so I don't trust that 100%. But it really makes me feel good when both of them are jiving, so that's kind of what I do there. I have been asked about cameras, so the main camera I'm on right now is a Osmo Action 3, and that's a fairly new camera for me, and I have it mounted on a bullet mounting system, which is pretty new. I got that probably 5 months ago. This is the real first test out running across the country with it. So far, I'm really happy. I got the 2-ball version. Right after I got the 2-ball version, a 3-ball version came out, and I called Bullet right before I bought it and asked them if they had a 3-ball available. They said no. And as soon as I got the 2-ball, I think it was within a month, the 3-ball came out. But I'm not going to spend the money on the 3-ball. We'll make the 2-ball work, but unless Bullet wants to give me a deal on a 3-ball, I'd be happy to put it in here. And then I also use a earlier version of the Osmo Action. It's the Osmo Action 1. I did not do the Osmo Action 2. And that I use it quite a bit too, so that gives you an idea. And then for Diane and I, we use a couple of GMRS type radios, and they're Wuxen. And they give us pretty good range, and if we're running out through some large cities, we also have some external antennas that we put on the truck and on the car, which gives us a little bit better range. If anybody's interested in seeing a video on those, just mention down in the description below or in comments down below, and I'll do a video on any of these or all of these that you want to see. Oh, I also use a tire monitoring system, which we recommend for any RVer to have, and we use the TST tire monitoring system. We were using the same system, actually the same sensors, way back when we had the motorhome. So we've been using these same sensors for years. When we first got the the system. It had a black and white monitor, and that monitor did go belly up. It was my fault. I left it in the windshield just too many times. But it was okay because they came out with a color monitor, and I really love that color monitor. And I'll also do a video on that if somebody is interested. I guess I'll also mention that on the 2-ball bullet mounting system that I have the Osmo Action 3 mounted on it, and I have my Garmin GPS mounted on the other ball. And then the other Osmo Action, because I only have a 2-ball system, I use a suction cup system. It's a ram mount. It does fine. That's all I used for years was ram mounts, and it does fine. Alright, so up here in 1 mile, we'll be making a turn onto US 95 Alt, so alternate 95. And that'll take us up toward Carson City. We have a total of 90 miles yet to go. Normally have gone in the past, but I'm sure this will ring a bell once we get going. So there you'll see Yerington 24 miles, Carson City 91, and then just past Carson City is where we will be going to our campground at the state park. And you'll notice we'll be right between Carson and Reno, and Sparks is going to be an easy drive, Virginia City will be an easy drive. So we'll be hitting all those places as we stay there for our 5-day stay. Still cruising along on alternate 95. I may mention before that this is the way Diane and I love to travel, just back roads like this, 2-lane highways. And I've asked before, I'm going to ask again, is this how you like to travel, or do you prefer the freeways and the more crowded areas? Or do you love this out in the wilderness type traveling? If we could travel like this all over the country, this is what we would do, hands down. Well, we have a little turn to make up here, so I thought we'd just show you.
Oh, this is Yerington.
Yerington? Well, there we are. Now we're in Yerington. We're going to make a right up here. And there you see it. 95, alternate 95 to the right here. If you go straight, that'll take you through the town of Yerington. So Fernley is 48 miles, Reno's 79, and we have 69 miles to go to our campground. We're going to go up here a little less than a mile, and then we'll be taking another right. Looks like the road's going to tee up here. You have to turn left or right. We're going to take a right. There's a nice little truck stop area right there to the left. All right, we're still on 95. Now this says we have 68 miles to our campground. I think we're going to jump on US 50 for a little bit too, so we'll see. Anyway, come along with us. Don't leave now. Another comment we get a lot is probably from the Ford lovers and Ram haters who want to call Rams Dodges. They want to know how the truck holds up with the Cummins and the Aisin transmission, 489 gears. Well, I don't know. All I can say is right now, at this very moment, I have 28,000 miles on this truck. And as right now, this very moment, we have used this truck towing miles, 21,990 miles. So most of the life of this truck has had the fifth wheel hooked up the back, traveling from west coast to east coast. It's been through mountains, the plains, hot weather, not much cold weather. So there you go. It's been a great truck for us. No issues. We keep up with the maintenance like everybody probably does and should. But yeah, 28,000 miles on the truck. Dang near 22,000 miles of that is towing. Alright, we're coming into Silver Springs. And according to the GPS, we're going to go into a roundabout. We're going to take the third exit to get on US 50 West. Well, I guess there is a roundabout. Why would you put a roundabout out here in the middle of nowhere? I don't like roundabouts anyway. Having one out here is almost like an insult. Alright, third exit. Little casino over there. Alright, there's one exit. There's the second exit. And here's the third exit. Now we're going to stay on US 50 for like about 2.5 miles, I think. Alright, we'll be back. Carson City, 35 miles. I guess there's another roundabout in 2.5 miles. That's what that meant. We're going to go straight on through that roundabout. And we have 41 miles to our destination. And here we are, coming up onto another roundabout. About threw me for a loop there. Yeah, there we go. Reminds me of those figure-8 racetracks when I was a kid growing up, watching them crash at the intersections. Gotta love that. Alright, we're still on 50. We're headed southwest. We have 27 more miles to go on this road. And then we will turn on 580 headed toward Reno. And once we do that, we won't be very far away from our destination. In fact, right now we have 35 miles to go to the campground. We're going to be going through the small town of Dayton right now. And we still have 12 miles to go before we turn on the 580. Now. Elevation 4,400 feet. We have 9.6 miles before we turn on to 580. Alright, well, we're coming into the Carson City limits right now. The route we took, though, kind of put us on the west side of Carson. If we had taken a different route, we would have driven right through Carson, which is a bunch of traffic. So this worked out pretty well for us. We got 3 more miles before we turn on to 580. And then we'll be getting pretty darn close to our campground. There's a golf course off there to the right. Carson's a pretty cool little town. Actually, it's the state capital of Nevada. Last time we were in Carson, there was a lot of construction going on down in Old Town. We'll go see if that's all completed. Alright, right up here we're going to take 395, 580 north to Reno. Right here. Alright, then to get to Washoe Lake State Park, you're going to take exit 10. Which is right after you take a pretty good climb out of Carson. About 2/10 of a mile, then we'll be taking the exit 10 right here. Then down at the bottom of the exit, we'll be taking a right. And we have 3.2 miles until we get to the campground. Alright, here we are, Washoe Lake State Park. And from what I saw from the road, it looks like it is full of campers. We're going to find out. Alright, we're going to go into Loop A. Wow. To me right now, it looks like it's packed. But we're going to find out. And if it's packed, we don't really have a plan B except for to continue driving. Well, let's see what we can see. Boy, oh boy.
It'd be full.
Alright, well, looks like we're in a bad shape then. That one's way too short for us. We'd never fit in there. Wow. I did not imagine this would be the case on a Monday morning. But it is.
I don't see anything, Dave. One short one.
Yeah, we would never fit in that short one.
But everything now is full.
We'll go up to the left and go to Campground B, see if there's anything in the dry camping.
Will do.
If that's the case, then we just, we're going to continue on the road. Well, if nothing else, you got a tour of the Washoe Lake State Park. We're gonna go check out the dry camping area. We have enough water on board to last a night.
Where are you?
Well, I'm kind of behind you, coming up to the stop sign.
I just saw you.
And even the dry camping area looks pretty full right now. Alright, we're going to go up and take a look at the dry camping. Diane drove up there, said the sites are a lot smaller. They look pretty full. But we'll drive through, take a look. And if not, it's early enough in the day, luckily, that we will just continue.
Okay, 35 is big enough. That would be a tight back end.
If we can't fit, we'll just continue on toward Susanville, find a spot out in the middle of nowhere to hang out for a night or two. Yeah, it's tighter in here. Still full. Yeah, we won't fit in that one. But hey, you can see that it's a pretty scenery in here. If you're lucky enough to get a campground. And we can't make it in that one either. Well, I tell you, that's what the RVing's coming to, this kind of thing.
Where are you?
I'm slowly making my way in. I'm going by that one. You back into the on the right side right now. It's too small.
I didn't see anything else, so I might as well wait here by the exit for you.
All right. Well, that's enough of that, I guess. We will go up here, find a place to kick back, and replan the rest of our travel day. We'll go up by the dump station there, Diane. We'll just pull off as tight as we can, and we'll refigure our day. At least you got a tour of the campground. Now, Diane said she did see where on the website it said reservations coming soon. So I imagine people are running into this, not being able to get a spot. I imagine people are starting to complain about not getting a spot. So we've got to go to a reservation basis. Makes perfect sense. All right, we found a white spot in the road. We pulled over. We thought about some options. And option number one is we're going to drive through Reno. We're going to go to Boomtown. And I think the first year on the road, we stopped at a place called Boomtown Casino, and they had an RV park there. So we're going to head up that way. We have no idea what it looks like today. We're going to go there. We're going to see if we can get a spot for a couple nights there. And if we can't, then we're just going to continue on to Susanville, California, and play it by ear from there and look for a white spot in the road that we can just kind of camp for a night. All right, there you go. Fun and games. All right, so you got a tour of Washoe Lake State Park. Sorry it couldn't be a better tour by staying for a few days, but you know, that's what it's getting to be like anymore, living this full-time lifestyle. 11 years ago, we first hit the road, we never made reservations more than a couple days in advance, or no reservations at all. We never had a problem finding a place to stay. But anymore, that's changed. I know a lot of people say, oh, I never have trouble finding a campground. I don't know. Good for them. But I wouldn't want to travel the country without making reservations anymore. Especially in a big size rig like we're in. If you're in a camper van or something like that, you can find any place to park. But if you're pulling 44 foot behind you, truck and extra car, you might want to have plans. So speaking of plans, we don't have any. Now what we're going to try and do, we're going to drive through Reno. And I think on our very first year on the road, we stayed at a place up in Boomtown, like Boomtown Casino RV Park. I don't even know what it's like today, but we put that in our GPS. We're gonna go there. It's just on the other side of Reno. See if we can get a spot for a night or two or three, whatever. And if that works out, great. If not, then we are going to continue on. Diane has plenty of fuel. I have enough fuel to make it to Oregon. And we're going to go to Susanville, Nevada, or Susanville, California. That's only 130 miles away from here. And we might find a campground in Susanville or a place to boondock before we get to Susanville and play it by ear. We still get there early afternoon, so good thing we took off early this morning. So anyway, hey, this is Real RVing, so tag along with us, see what we end up doing. All right, change of plans. We found a RV park in Bordertown, outside of Reno. We decided to hang out here for a couple of nights, or at least one night. We're gonna go up here to site 42 and pull in there. That's gonna be right here next to this Sunseeker.
I was just gonna say, I need to get out to see that branch.
Got a tree I gotta make sure I clear up here.
You're fine. You're a foot away from it.
Let me know when I'm clear of that road back there. All right, well, we're settled in for the night. Our travel day has come to an end, finally. Actually, I think we're gonna spend 2 days here. It's close enough to Reno, we can still go in and spend a day downtown and enjoy our time while we're here. We ended up staying at a place in Bordertown, Nevada. It's 18 miles outside of Reno. Not a big deal. We were prepared to head on into Susanville or even go on to our next boondocking spot we had picked out. But this worked out. You know what's funny? This park is the very first park we stayed at on the very first day we went full time, roughly 10 and a half years ago. Now, it's changed a lot. I'm going to do a review on this park, obviously. This is just going to be the travel day video, but I will do a review on this park. And when we stayed here before, I don't think there was any grass. There was some small trees. It was completely different, much nicer now. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed our little travel day. A little bit of drama at the end, trying to find a place to stay, but you know, we always have our home with us, so there's going to be some place to park regardless. All right, so once again, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy this type of video, let me know that in the comments down below. I'm still kind of torn whether I want to do travel day videos, but if you can tell me you enjoy them, then I'll keep on doing them. If you tell me you don't like them, enough people say that, I'll just stop doing them. But anyway, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, how about a thumbs up? Consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment down in the comment section. We love hearing from you. As always, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.